This is a very good book, the Upanishads. This edition is by Eknath Easwaran, right? Mm-hmm. So we're going to give a little introduction on the Upanishads. Son, I want you to read this part right here for him. Go ahead, son, read it.
So over 2,000 years ago, the sages of India embarked on an extraordinary experiment. While others were exploring the external world, they turned inward to explore consciousness itself.
Right, so these ancient mystics of India turned inward to explore within, while others were exploring the external world. Mm-hmm. All right, keep going.
In the changing flow of human thought, they asked, is there anything that remains the same?
Right, nothing remains the same. Nothing is static. Everything is flowing in and out. Everything has tides, vibration. Go ahead.
They found that there is indeed a changeless reality underlying the ebb and flow of life. Their discoveries are an expression of what Aldous Huxley calls the perennial philosophy, the wellspring of all religious faith that assures us God realization is within human reach.
Right, so we're going to the root, the core of most all religious faiths that are known, right? Mm-hmm. And what it all boils down to is God realization is within our reach. All right, go ahead right here.
The Upanishads are the sages' wisdom given in 10 sessions of spiritual instruction in ashrams, in family gatherings, in a royal court in the kingdom of Death himself. Mm-hmm. And Easwaran shows how these teachings are just as relevant to us now as they were centuries ago.
Right, so these teachings are just as relevant now as they were back then, right? This is a very interesting piece of wisdom from the Upanishads. Read this part right here.
You are what your deep driving desire is. Mm-hmm. As your desire is, so is your will. Mm-hmm. As your will is, so is your deed. Mm-hmm. As your deed is, so is your destiny.
Right. And just to give a brief introduction, because it's going to keep this video brief, we just want to introduce the Upanishads. Also, we encourage, do your own research on the Upanishads. Look it up. Google the Upanishads. Research it online. Watch some videos on it. You know, there's information out there on the Upanishads and books you can get on this topic. Go ahead and read this right here, son.
Although the Upanishads are attached to the Vedas, they seem to come from an altogether different world, though harmonious enough in their Vedic setting. They have no need of it and make surprisingly little reference to it. Mm-hmm. They stand on their own authority. Rituals, the basis of Vedic religion, are all but ignored.
Right. So the Upanishads stand on their own. They don't rely on Vedic philosophy so much. This is the most ancient core of Indian wisdom from ancient India. All right, go ahead.
And although the Vedic gods appear throughout, they are not so much numerous beings, such as aspects of a single underlying power called Brahman, which pervades creation yet transcends it completely.
Pervades creation yet transcends it completely. Read one more section real quick, as just to give it a good brief introduction to the Upanishads for the people out there. Read right here, son. Go ahead.
Brahmavidya.
It's an Indian word. Brahmavidya. And conventional science both begin when a person finds that the world of sense impressions, so transient and superficial, is not enough in itself to satisfy the desire for meaning. Right, so the transient 3D material world that we experience through the sense perceptions is not enough to satisfy the desire for ultimate meaning, right? Mm-hmm. All right.
Then one begins to stand back a little from the senses and look below the surface show on life in search of underlying connections. But the sages of the Upanishads wanted more than explanations of the outside world. Mm-hmm. They sought principles that would unify and explain the whole of human experience, including at the same time the world within the mind, if the observer observes through the medium of consciousness, and the world too is observed in consciousness, should not the laws apply to both?
Right. So we're going to embark on a very interesting, mind-opening, soul-opening, soul plane opening, different dimension opening journey of the ancient Upanishads.
Yep.
Right?